Now, the next important part and final part, if you like, once you've attached the carburettor to the manifold on this end, and I emphasize that you need to have a good seal here, a very good seal, and that you have no air leaks there, because that will make adjustment, tuning if you like, with the low speed needle and the high speed needle very, very difficult. So make sure you have the proper gasket here, and one that seals, prevents any air entering in to the manifold. That will upset your mixture. It will lean it out if air leaks in here. So once we have done all that and affixed it to the bike, this is the way that you will be looking at the carburettor in situ from the left-hand side of the bike. Now what we do is, I like to start off on the lean side. Unlike the book, it tells you to start off on the rich side. The book tells you to open up that 3 turns. That's a bit too rich, and it also tells you to start screwing in the low speed needle until the engine starts to miss. And at that point there where it misses, the engine misses, you back it out a quarter. I don't like that. That's on the rich side, and I find that it fouls my plugs. It soots them up. What I do is, through experience, I turn the low speed needle, air mix if you like, until it gently seats. You'll just feel it gently seat. Do not apply excessive force, because you will distort the needle tapered end, making an impression which will upset the smooth laminar flow of air. So do not over tighten it. Be very sensitive with it. Just gauge when it gently makes its way all the way home. And at that point, once it's seated, once it's gently seated, you back it out 1 1/4 turns. And this one here, you do the same procedure. Screw it all the way in until it gently seats, and then back it out 1 turn. So I'm backing it out 1 turn there. I'm backing it out 1 1/4 turns there. It's on the lean side. And then I commence my adjustment by gradually, notch by notch, turning it out until I get a fairly consistent acceleration on the twist grip. And I'll alternate from spark plugs, removing them, and monitoring the colour of the spark plugs. This idle one here I will do whilst the bike is stationary at idle. Remember, on the side, that's why they called it the idle adjuster. With the high speed needle adjuster, bear in mind that initially the low and the high are interlinked with that transition from the low speed mix to the high speed mix. That initial point of transference from one to another is a mix between the low and the high, up until such point where the high takes over. Now, what I do with the high, remember, on the left side, is whilst underway, whilst I'm riding on a nice, open, quiet road, not on a road where there's heaps of traffic where you're likely to stop and start, but a nice, quiet, open country road, I will adjust the high speed until I get a nice all-round throttle response with no hiccups, no misses. There you have it. All those adjustments, in most cases, are not covered in books, but I have found them to be very, very important. And I hope this video on the M741-1 has enabled you with an understanding of how these early carburetors work and what needs to be done to them. I think this concept, if you like, was in circulation up until 64, 65, and after that they were replaced with much more refined, emphasis on the word refined, and advanced applications of emulsification and fuel air mix, if you like. So take care and all the best.